A very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. I hope it has been a good day for you. It is the 20th day of March. The year is 2023. Still looking at the events that are happening in the country. We're planning to have this short conversation about where we are now. This conversation is a simple, truthful, Prof putting them across in a hard-hitting way. How have you been?
Good.
Have you passed through Nairobi's CBD?
Not really. Yeah.
What do you make of this situation now? It is the 20th of March. We're supposed to see guys heading to State House, Nairobi disrupted in the CBD. We're looking at a situation where Kisumu is impassable. We're looking at Kakamega. Everything is on a standstill now. First of all, what do you make of this strategy? Is there a strategy and the arrangement that has been made within Azimio to make sure that the country is on a standstill, to pass their message that the cost of living is high? What do you make of this?
First of all, my stand is clear. I do not support the idea of mass action. I understand why it must be there and why it is there. And that's why I urge the President and Raila Odinga to come together and end this nonsense that could destroy the country. As of strategy, when I look at both sides, I see little strategy. I see more of the same. The police are still throwing tear gas the way they have thrown over the years. They are still barricading roads and trying to arrest protesters. And the Azimio people are still trying to enter town the way they have always done. I'm not seeing so far much strategy on either side.
Don't you think it probably was a strategy by Azimio to just ensure that there was disruption of business as usual in Nairobi CBD? And I think that is what they have done. There is no business. Rigathi says they have lost 2 billion.
Yeah, if you are asking success or impact, that's a different story. Success on the part of Azimio could be seen in terms of the impact the demonstrations have had by shutting down Nairobi. When you do to Nairobi what the demonstrators have done to Nairobi within the past few hours, you're strangling the country. Because this is the epicenter of business and everything that goes on in this country. The businessmen cannot be smiling. Investors cannot be smiling. So if that is what you view as success in terms of impact, yes, so far Azimio has succeeded. Because if you want to know that this is successful, ask yourself what would happen if just at this level, this thing goes on for 4 days, 3-4 days. At this level, not anything more. Not marching to State House, not doing anything. Just this scale for 3-4 days. The government will be forced to do something.
Rigathi Gachagua says they have dealt with them. The police have taken charge of Nairobi CBD, and they will do that days to come, weeks to come, or even months to come. Is this a possible way of dealing with this Maandamano now, saying you try, we will deal with you, and you'll go back home? What strategy?
If this is called dealing with it, then we are dealing with very naive people.
How so?
Yeah, I mean, so if you dealt with them, why don't you sit down with businessmen and tell them, yes, I have succeeded in dealing with Raila and these people? They will slap you because they are suffering. As we talk, people are painful. People are being pained. Transactions, international transactions may not be going on. Business is being interrupted badly. People are losing money. You close down Nairobi for an hour. It is big in terms of impact. So you cannot say you are dealing with people when nothing is going on in Nairobi.
When you say that the strategy that Azimio has used, you're not
I don't want to call it strategy.
You're saying you're not seeing a strategy.
I'm not seeing anything.
But when it comes to success rate, it is
the impact must be seen in terms of, if you want to see success in terms of the impact, already they have succeeded in making life difficult for people in Nairobi, in the CBD.
Why would you say you haven't seen a strategy? Is there a possible strategy that could have probably gone your way to say this is at least planned for? Is there something that you had in mind?
Maybe this is still a strategy, but I'm saying I haven't seen. I'm saying I haven't seen the difference between what Raila's people have been doing and what they are doing now. I haven't seen the difference. That's what I said.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything different from the police. The police are doing what they have been doing over the years. Now the danger with that is maybe one of them has a strategy and they could deal with the other. Conclusive, supposing that other person is the Azimio side. Because supposing you are testing the police to see how they are reacting, to see their game, to read their numbers and maneuvers, then you whoop, you outnumber them, you outmaneuver them, and you land in Nairobi.
So we're still waiting to see what will happen in the country. President William Ruto on Sunday said he's ready for talks, as long as these talks are based on the constitution and they're not going to take that route that, you know, they usually say that the handshake took. If he's ready for talks, is this a conversation you want to hear from the president, telling the people that I am ready for talks?
When you go for talks, you do this. You don't do this. This, you cannot extend a hand. We want to talk, then you do. No, you do this. Doing this means there are no conditions. So let us meet as Kenyans on a table and talk. Yes.
I'm asking.
Then when you get to the table, you tell the people, look here, surely, honestly, we cannot discuss my presidency. I'm going to walk out. I'm here in this room as the president of the Republic of Kenya. Then we can talk about anything else.
Okay.
You know, then these guys look around and say, surely the guy has extended
his arm.
Nah, why are we returning it like this? So they sit down and talk.
So this is the conversation.
It's a simple thing.
So what Ruto said yesterday is what we need to hear.
We need to hear more of that, but we need people to be sincere, to be honest with all the cards on the table, not under the table. Don't hide dangerous cards under the table and pretend you want talks. You know, Raila is beyond a position. There's nothing Raila can do towards peace, in terms of towards the talks. There's nothing. His options are closed and finished. There's just nothing. He can only respond to a move from Ruto. So Ruto, President Ruto, is a man who must save the country. Because when I say these things are bad, some people talk bad. I read on Twitter and people laugh. No country will want to have these kind of things that are going on in town. Let me tell you something else. The impact of this may be more than you know. Because right now, today, there was some investor, perhaps somewhere in New York or Tokyo, who was discussing his entry in Kenya to bring a multi-million-dollar investment. He has cancelled it. That's how these things have long-term impact. Some businessmen are going to suffer, not just today, but for days to come. Some jobs would have been created in these hours that we are in chaos, and those jobs have not been created. You know, jobs are created in a way. It's not just create this job. No, it's a whole circle of things related and moving and joining and putting things together. And finally, you have 500 jobs. Those 500 jobs will remove 500 boys from the streets who would have murdered people in the streets. So the impact of something like this is big. Don't look at it. So if it goes on for 3-4 days, it's not something you want to contemplate because it's bad. It's not good.
What's your message to Kenyans now that they're afraid of going to town? Remember waking up and thinking,
how can you advise anybody to go? Even me, I had an appointment. I told you last time.
Yes.
I didn't go. I'm called the man, he has not picked the phone. The officer, I don't know why, whether he's there or not, but he's not been picking my phone. He cancels. Maybe he's holed up somewhere or he's also scared under the bed. I mean, I would understand if people didn't go to town. How would I go myself? I wouldn't go.
I'm asking your advice to Kenyans that are afraid that there is no hope and both sides of the divide
must be hope. There must
say,
be hope.
look, we'll continue pushing. One side will continue resisting. The other side will play offense, defense. We don't know. What's your message now? My
message to Kenyans is to join me in asking Ruto and Raila to sit together. That's the only message I have. And it's the only relevant message now. Anything from Rigathi Gachagua at all we will manage this thing is a lie. Anything from Raila thinking he can take over power just like that is also a big lie. It's not easy. So because Ruto will not give up his power like that, so we are not just going to walk there and take it.
Okay.
But neither will Ruto have the power to control these things. So ultimately, Ruto will not gain anything, Raila will not gain anything. And why am I saying Ruto and Raila will gain nothing? Because so long as the people of this country are losing, then nobody can say they are gaining. Ruto cannot gain, Raila cannot gain. So long as the people of this country are losing. And the people of this country are losing so long as we are scaring investors, so long as we are stopping the creation of jobs, so long as we are threatening people's property and people's lives, so long as there's a danger in the country of the country erupting and getting into worse problems, the people of Kenya cannot be happy. They are losing. And once the people of Kenya are not happy and they are losing, nobody can say he has gained. Nobody can say, nimeshinda Raila.
Yeah.
Oh, tumemeza Ruto, tumekuwa kwa town for 3 days. No. Ask yourself, the only measure of victory is, are the people of Kenya gaining? Are the people of Kenya happy? If the answer is no, as I'm sure it will be no, then Raila cannot stand and say he has won. Then Ruto cannot stand and say you have won. It's simple like that. And the message to the people of Kenya, join me in asking these two gentlemen to stop behaving like village boys who draws lines in the sand. You know, your bravado doesn't help you.
Yeah.
None of them will win so long as the people of Kenya have not won. And for the people of Kenya to win, the two gentlemen must sit down on a table that Orengo called the table of brotherhood.
Yeah.
Not the handshake. Let us also clarify this, because when I say this, people say, oh, Raila amekutuma handshake. I have made it clear before. I don't know whether Raila wants a handshake. I don't think. He has said he doesn't, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Ruto says he doesn't want the handshake. I don't know whether he wants or he doesn't want. But one thing I know, the people of this country will hear nothing of the handshake. That one from both sides. I think for different reasons, but I'm sure even Raila's people will have nothing to do with the handshake. And therefore it's not about the handshake. It's just about people sitting together, because this is our country, and the things that unite us are more than the things that divide us. And therefore to deal with the few things that divide us, and to conclusively deal with some, postpone some, deal partially with some, and the country moves forward.
So there must be a conversation.
There must be a conversation. How can you do without a conversation? You've seen what's going on in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Na hii ni mwanzo tu.
Day
We
one.
are meeting today for live show.
Live with Richard.
I hope when we meet for the live show, and the other recording perhaps, we will be telling Kenyans we are happy. At least reason and sense has prevailed. Yeah.
And guess with that, we have to wait and see. We're still holding fort, trying to look at what the situation in the country is. But we'll keep you informed on the situation here globally, especially in Africa. The situation isn't good, Prof. The situation in South Africa, Tunisia, Nigeria. Still looking at it, but we'll still have these conversations until we do talk again. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.